Hello and welcome to video 18 of the Licensing Education Series by AIC, a partner of American Senior Benefits. Please watch each video all the way through once without taking notes and then go back and take notes. You'll find that you retain more information that way. If there are any topics that you would like me to do a deeper dive into, please comment to tell me the specific information you want me to go over. Thanks for attending and let's get started. So this video is on underwriting. So what is underwriting? Well, it's really the process of determining risk. Generally, the more at risk the insurer is at, as in the more money they might be out of pocket on a claim, the less risk they're willing to take with an applicant. For example, a small final expense life insurance policy, like $5,000 in coverage, may have little to no underwriting, while a $1 million universal life policy will require a lot of underwriting. The underwriter is trying to judge whether the applicant is a reasonable risk and determine a price for those accepted and reject those who are not a reasonable risk. People who feel that they're more likely to need insurance are more likely to buy insurance. For example, if someone finds out they have cancer, they are more likely to want cancer insurance than someone who is healthy and has no cancer concerns. And this is called adverse selection. Underwriting is also trying to control that. Now, determining the amount of risk is complicated and is mostly done in an underwriting department, not by the insurance producer. The producer's role in underwriting is generally in a field underwriting role. This means that the producer will solicit the business, explain the insurance, ask some basic questions on an application, provide all the appropriate disclosures, usually collect the first premium, and usually deliver the policy after it's issued. The underwriting department will use the information gathered by the producer and then do additional research based on what they require in order to make a decision. The application should be filled out accurately and honestly. It usually includes data collection like name, birth date, address, phone number, social security number, occupation, marital status, etc., etc. On most, there is a medical section where health questions are asked, as well as physician information, a medication list, and sometimes even like moral questions or questions about high risk activities like skydiving. Sometimes there may be an agent statement required. And what that is a form that asks about the agent or producer's relationship to the applicant, as well as anything the producer knows or suspects about the applicant that they didn't admit on the application. The applicant, the insured, if different than the applicant, and the producer all have to sign the application, and it then becomes part of the policy if one is issued. Now, after the application is filled out and signed, the producer will then either collect the first premium or arrange for the collection of the first premium. The policy will go into effect either on the date of delivery, on the date specified in the application, or when the application is written, as long as the first premium was collected and there was a conditional receipt provided. The conditional receipt basically says if this policy is issued as applied for, it will be considered to be enforced since the collection of the first premium. The underwriter uses the application information along with various other sources of information to determine the risk. If it is an acceptable risk and the policy is issued, they also determine if the insured will pay the normal premium or an increased amount, which is usually called a rating, so it would be a rated policy, when there's an increased risk, but not so much risk that they're going to flat out reject the application. So they're either going to accept or accept it with a rating or reject it. Some of the additional sources of information underwriters might use are medical exams or tests like having a physical done, EKG, blood work, urinalysis, mental exams. Basically, the more money that's involved, the more tests that are run. They also may want the medical records and an attending physician statement, also known as an APS, which is detailed information about a specific medical condition. Another thing the underwriter may do if there's a specific risk or health condition they want to investigate further, like some kind of pre-existing condition, is to order an inspection report. That focuses on the risk or condition in particular and includes physical exams and tests and the medical records. Underwriters might check your credit. They will look at that, especially in situations where a person's buying a lot of life insurance. They might use the MIB, which is the Medical Information Bureau. That's a not-profit or nonprofit association that gathers a wide range of medical information on individuals and allows insurance companies to access that data for underwriting. And in the case of high-value insurance, they might also order an investigative consumer report. That report is actually regulated by the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And it's a report generated by a third party that gathers information on character, general reputation, personal characteristics, or mode of living, and these are obtained through personal interviews with neighbors, friends, and associates of the consumer being reported on, or with others with whom that person is acquainted or who may have knowledge concerning any information. The applicant must be told in writing that one of these will be done. The underwriter will also look to make sure that the policy will cover an actual loss to the applicant and that the compensation is in line with the loss. That's what's called the insurable interest. Then, if the policy is issued, it must be delivered. The policy owner's free look period begins on delivery. The best practice is that the producer delivers the policy and gets a written delivery receipt. But more and more companies are now mailing the policies directly to the policyholders. Okay, there are more underwriting topics, but the outline for the Oklahoma test doesn't list them. But if you want me to address something I didn't go over, please let me know in the comments. The next video is going to be on replacement and go over some terminology, and it is the last video in the series. Please like and subscribe so you get notified when new educational videos are released, and thanks for watching.